Alright, welcome. Good to see you, Zoop. This is exactly the person I wanted in the chat for this experience. So we're a little bit into the first case, which usually is kind of like a tutorial of the mechanics of the game, as well as, well, in this case, an introduction to a new well, I don't know if I want to say universe, but a new, like a new era that the game is set in. So, this is in I think a late 1800s era where you have if you look at the box art, you see there's like a wannabe Sherlock Holmes situation. And right now we're in Japan, and we're in the middle of a case where the main character, Ryunosuke, or who's like the Phoenix Wright wannabe, uh, he's been accused of murdering an Englishman who was a professor at a Japanese university. And also in Japan, there's a treaty between England, or well, at this time there's a treaty between England and Japan that's kind of new, and this game is kind of interesting because it starts to do some commentary where it sets it up that the Japanese government and even the justice system has a conflict of interest here, where they they would have an ulterior motive. They would have an incentive of not having this crime against an Englishman in Japan blamed against another English person. And it kind of looks like that was the case with this English gentlewoman, apparently. Anyway, the game's kind of interesting because it's exploring some government and even justice system corruption, which I don't know if the other Phoenix Wright games do that. But this one's kind of cool because the main character and his assistant guy are saying, no, the truth is above even the government. Justice is even above the justice system itself. So I like those ideals that the game is presenting. Anyway, let's get started. Yeah, I mean, let me just load the game because I don't know if it's going to hit me with that autosave continuation. Okay. So here's the gentlewoman. Whatever, I'm not going to spend time explaining, catching everything up. If you want to catch up, you can look up the Wikipedia, I guess, or, or, watch my previous Let's Plays of this, or playthroughs of this. Here we go. So she's going to update her testimony right now because the whole time she was giving us the impression that she doesn't speak Japanese, and so she was translating through this guy on the right over here. But now she just revealed that she does speak Japanese, and so she's going to give her testimony in her own words. And she's kind of updating it because we caught these two people a bit in a lie. The guy on the right was a waiter at this restaurant where the crime occurred, but he is actually a criminal investigator in Japan, and he was undercover as a waiter. So he seems to be part of actually a cover-up and an effort to frame the Phoenix Wright guy, Ryunosuke, that he murdered him. Anyway, let's go on.
Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway.
She's also kind of condescending, and the judge and the prosecutor, Ouchie, are kind of, saying, wow, you're so beautiful, we love you. Yeah, see, that most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in the Supreme Court's history. Thank you.
Easy does it. I hope that is the last time I will have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue.
Oh, so when it does that cursive thing, that's when she's speaking English.
Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone.
Oh, not at all, not at all. It is a delight merely to hear you speak, dear lady.
And it seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of victims burn is utterly irrelevant. I'll be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today.
The Minister of Justice?
May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen.
Huh? Thanks? Is that a prayer then? Well, you have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett, and put up with a cross-examination now. I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, Counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear? That's the first time they showed that animation. Yes, Your Excellency. Then you may proceed with your cross-examination. Okay. So I'm going to turn off autoplay for cross-examination. Okay. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. Well, I mean, it would have to be at some point in this episode, right? So I'm going to press that.
Yes!
But his hand was on the searing hot plate for at least 3 whole seconds. You can't not have noticed.
Do you think so? Let me ask you something.
Sorry?
Ever since I arrived at this courtroom, and even still now, the fly on those unsightly black trousers of yours have been wide open. You can't not have noticed, can you?
Huh? What? Ah!
What fun. You hadn't realized.
The dear lady's absolutely right.
As your friend, even bears me as well as yourself, Ryunosuke. Why didn't you tell me? Dr. Wilson was a true English gentleman.
Let me turn down my mic a little bit.
He chose honorable silence over vulgar scream. Can your tiny brains imagine such a thing?
Oh, yes. I think my tiny brain can.
Yes!
Well, I can't.
Anyway. When the waiter broke my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in toast.
Okay. The issue I have is that in this picture, he has the steak in front of his chair, which is also apparently turned around. And like, why is the plate in front of him when she's the one who ordered the steak and he didn't order anything? He only drank water. So I don't know if the game just has him sitting there for some reason. Yeah, like, look, he's sitting there in the chair, and then her purse is right there. So she would be sitting on the other side. Hold on. The cork is still on the bottle, and she ate some of it. I don't know if they just put the cork back on the bottle, but you kind of don't tend to do that, you know? I feel like we're just... Whatever, I'm just gonna use it here. That statement is clearly odd. Usually when he's nodding his head like that, it means it is. What appears to be odd is the way you're presenting yourself. Oh, pay no attention, Your Excellency. As you wish. Now kindly lower your hand.
Never. Not until I prove that I'm innocent here.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking too much into the detail of the cork being on there. As far as I've read, the postmortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides a gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. I mean, there are other ways. Yes!
If someone is shot or strangled or stabbed or thrown from a height, however a person's life is taken, there are always telltale traces on the body.
Quite right, dear lady. And as our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased, there can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hosonaga?
That's this guy on the right over here.
As I've said, I always aim for a flawless investigation. There would be physical traces with all those causes of death, that's true. But maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark. If, heaven forbid, you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone how exactly you think the professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it?
Oh no, perish the thought. Calling such a sweet young lady's innocence into question. On my honor, I, Taketsuchi Aochi, will cut down any who dare cast such aspersions.
A way of killing someone that leaves no trace. We need some evidence to back us up here. Yes, evidence. But of course, this country's inferior investigative...
Poison, yeah, that's a good guess.
Techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway.
Yes!
Inferior? What do you mean by that? In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at the crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate once, and that's the end of it. Isn't that so?
Quite right. La Carnival is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident.
Exactly. Which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost.
Yeah, so this guy on the right here has been coughing, and he has a little bit of blood over here on his, coming from the left side of his lips. And then he cleans it. And again, the first case is usually kind of a hand-holding case where it kind of puts the stuff, kind of makes it fall on your lap.
It doesn't even occur to your naive detectives to try to preserve the crime scene. I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can. You understand?
A killer blow. The lady is as formidable as she is beautiful.
Amazing. She's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Ouchie is finally starting to see sense. I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right.
Yeah, that guy's coughing.
What do you think, Ryunosuke? I think it's going terribly.
What's up, Lasagan? Good to have you.
No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information. Yes, as I suspected, she's a tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony or the cross-examination will be over. But that would mean I have to find a way. There must be some clue somewhere to help us find a chink in her armor. Kazuma. What, Ryunosuke?
There is one thing I noticed. Something has been bothering me. Bothering you? You mean about Miss Brett? Actually, no. About the person standing next to her. Inspector Hosonaga. The detective. Yes. He seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant. If it might present an opening, maybe. Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing her on that last statement one more time. If you think so, but this time, instead of targeting the woman herself, let's see what we can get out of the detective. Alright then. I wonder what Kazuma's thinking. I'll find out soon enough, I suppose, once I press Miss Brett on her last statement again.
Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the postmortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me.
Yes!
Oh wait, I don't think it was that one. I think it was the next one where I was supposed to press. Yeah, she already said all this. How do I skip this? I think I have to turn off autoplay and then, yeah. Oh man. I have to go through this whole thing? How do I skip it? I guess I just have to skip it the old-fashioned way. Okay, here we go. We're back. Yeah, it's that one.
Yes!
Inferior? What do you mean by that?
And then that... What? How am I supposed to ask him if...
That was the same statement, but it doesn't let me ask the other guy. Okay, right there.
Yes, there it is again. Okay. The detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. But things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the English woman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down. You're right. Look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts. It's time to pursue the man in his train of thought. Sorry? Pursue? I'll explain how to do it now, Ryunosuke. It's all to do with the witness marker. What marker? Oh, this is a new mechanic. At the moment, we're focused on Miss Brett, who's the person actually making the current statement. But by moving the marker left and right, with A and D, you can turn your attention to the other people in the stand. While you're looking at the other witnesses, you'll be able to pursue them with space. If you can catch the person at just the right time, you might uncover some new information to pursue. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere amongst the people in the stand, take a good look around. Alright then, so first I shall move the marker across with A and D, and focus on the detective. Then pursue him with space, and see what's on his mind. Here we go!
Wait.
Okay, I'm pressing D.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
What the? What's the meaning of this? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you.
really was lost in his thoughts. Deeply. It looked like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say. If there's something you'd like to say, please, share it with the court.
Objection!
Well, what is the meaning of this? It's the delightful English woman who's testifying at the moment. If you can't find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination will be over immediately.
Oh, is that how this works? Absolutely not. The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. Yes, not to mention the fact that he's intimately involved in the case. Inspector Hosonaga? Yes. Do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett? Well, yes, if you don't mind. I would like to speak. The lady is right. Our country's police practices are modern, not as modern as those used in Britain, which is why I, Satoru Hosonaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless. What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving the evidence, you see. I don't dare if they call me a crime scene thief. Crime scene thief? Hold on. I kind of missed what he said because I was trying to do too much voice acting. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. It's like, okay, what have you done? Well, it looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this for example. Is that? This is the bottle of carbonated water that I took to the victim's table on the day in question. And yes, it's lost all of its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, there's some left in the bottle, I can see it. One day our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming, I guarantee it. I can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept the glass bottle of water as evidence. The carbonated water bottle has been entered in the court record. Okay. Miss Brett, can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on the day of the victim's death?
Yes, it was that bottle.
What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question. Very well, counsel. You may resume your cross-examination. And the inspector will kindly control his fervor. Okay. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burned his wrist like that. Alright. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. Okay, again. Oh, man. Because look. I mean, tell me if I'm reading too much into this. I don't have, like, extensive Ace Attorney experience. But look. When we go to this picture, the cork is still on the bottle. And this is also after the guy died already. The cork is still on the bottle. I can't tell. It looks like there is water in the glass, or a liquid in the glass, let's say. And also there's bites taken out of the steak. So she's saying when the waiter brought the steak, that is when they raised their glasses in a toast. And then over here, look, the I can't find anything out of place. Okay, maybe I'll just look at the label. Le poison. Label's written in a foreign language I don't recognize. Do you know what it says, Kazuma? I think it's French. This must be very expensive water. That's funny. Yes, but what does it say? That's what I was asking. I go to France and ask. You could just say that you don't know. Character development, right? Okay. Man. Yeah, I mean, there's not much else I can do with that. And then with these photographs, it's not like you can, you know. Man. Yeah, it's probably poison because she kept the cup right here. She probably switched the cups. So when his had poison, and then hers, hold on, I think I'm getting like a text or something. I don't know. I'm getting like some notification sound that I don't recognize. Yeah, okay. I think that should be it. Sorry. Okay, anyway, let's continue. Okay, so she probably switched the cups, and she kept it for herself, so that, you know, the one still with the poison was in the cup. Or just took the cup that the guy drank, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, I guess I'll just press. Press is like a non yeah. Yeah. Which explains why we ordered that drink. Correct, waiter? Okay. Exactly as you say, sir. Although... although? Whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak to the table. I'm afraid I don't remember that. Okay. I have enough English to understand that, at least. For the benefit of others in the court, it means, bless you. I think it means the exact opposite. Which it does. Anyway. What's this look around thing, man? Okay. Like, how in the mechanics of the game do I get to the point of saying it was poison? Am I able to switch now? Oh. Okay. I mean, I already pressed this, so maybe it'll just say the same thing again. Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing again. Okay. I guess, okay, so I think what I had to do is when she said, damn you. Yeah. 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 Okay. I already listened to that, so. How do I get back to where she said the damn you line? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so when the waiter, okay. So let me go. Wait. Well, he's saying it's new evidence. New evidence. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. I never even thought of pursuing another witness over the current witness's statements. That was a great idea of yours, Kazuma. Well, it was all thanks to you noticing that the detective had reacted strangely to what the lady said. I'd never have guessed he had all that bubbling under the surface. To be honest, you keep surprising me at every turn. Sorry? Oh, never mind. So we know that Dr. Wilson was killed at around the time the steak was brought to his table. And by some means that left no physical trace on his body. If we could just demonstrate how it was done. Well, I do have one idea about that, about how the professor was killed. Maybe I should just present the evidence and see what happens. Okay. I forget which line it was that I needed to press for her to say that. No, that ain't it. It's up here. Yeah, when the waiter brought my steak.
Yes!
Yeah. Yep. Okay, here's where I have to say it. Oh, wait. Yeah. Just, wait, I can't pursue it? Okay, here. What do you make of that, Inspector Hosonaga? I'm talking about that last statement. What I mean is, does nothing strike you as unusual about it? This is hopeless. No matter how hard I try, I just can't get past that cough. I don't think you need to push it, Ryunosuke. Give him some time. Yeah, it's alright. I'll leave it for now. Okay, so that line didn't.
Yes!
Yes, it's written here in the paperwork. Fatal hemorrhage from ballistic trauma. Yes. I guess I'll just do it here and just throws it up on the screen. What do you make of that inspect? Oh wait, he's probably gonna. Oh, okay, yeah. This is just a. Is there some other way a man's life can be taken without a trace? Please do show me. I mean, she just said. I'm just gonna present this.
Yes!
Okay, the music stopped, so probably. What is this? The bottle of water? Actually, there's one method of killing a man without a trace that comes to mind. It's what Kanino was saying all along. I mean, Zoop. Excuse me. Obviously, I'm referring to poison. Unless Kanino already knew this some other way. But also, you know, he has good enough deduction skills, I'm sure, to get there. On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside? Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass? Order, order, order! And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor and able to slip the poison into his drink? And there's only one person who could have possibly done it. Giselle Brett. It was you.
Objection!
This is outrageous. To suggest such a thing without a scrap of evidence. You little rookie imbecile. Have you even considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten that we have only just signed an accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you even the vaguest inkling that your rash accusations could jeopardize the entire treaty?
This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one's individual guilt with respect to one crime. Huh? The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We are here to determine the truth. If I may.
I will silence you before this disgraceful attack.
Shut up. It is you who should be silent.
Of course. Dear lady.
We all knew that was coming. Where did that come from? She just snapped. I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies. I'm sorry, my lady. To what are you referring? I described your police force as inferior. But no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigated this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector. And whether it contained poison or not. Of course. But you did? Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time. I don't believe it. Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents. And? What did you find, Inspector? I ordered tests for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time. We could find no trace of poison of any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency. Okay, he said in this country, so it's French. The tests were meticulously carried out by the chief coroner himself. No! I'm very grateful to all you Japanese.
You've successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you.
But of course, dear lady, the pleasure was all ours.
I was so sure. This can't be right. Everything falls into place if he was poisoned. Thank you, counsel. I think that cross-examination has clarified everything. As the prosecution has asserted, a shot from the chest with this gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding this weapon, is the only possible culprit. I'm done for. The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience that it has caused you, Miss Brett. Oh no. I'm just glad the matter is resolved. Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for the defense. Do you have any further evidence to present the court at this point?
Yeah, we're gonna show the label.
Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. I have nothing more. Well, if you excuse me now, I really must be leaving.
Hold it!
Who was that?
Please, wait. Isn't that...
What is the meaning of this?
Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba, judicial assistant to the defense. Mikotoba? In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning.
It was kind of cool.
And in her hand, she carried a small package, wrapped in a furoshiki cloth. Furoshiki.
To be continued. And with that, folks, I think that's a good time to end this episode. Thank you for joining. We shall see you next time.